So you're thinking to yourself, how can I win in Sealand? Maybe you're looking at late game PvP action and you're wondering, how can I get there? Don't worry guys. Today we're going to look at the do's and don'ts of idle heroes, what you can be doing better, what you should be doing if you're a low to mid spender. So sit back, relax as we answer all these questions, and let's get right into it. Welcome back YouTube, this is 2 Point Show, coming back with more Idle Heroes content. Today we're going to cover quite a bit, so make sure to take notes. If you're new around here, welcome. But anyways, first things first, if you're a low to mid spender, you want to maximize your copies of any heroes. It doesn't really matter if they're good or not. So this is a bad example, but you want to idle on 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever it may be, because you can get these. So whenever you load in, just make sure that you can get heroes. If you're super early, it might be 4 stars, but it doesn't matter because we're going to use everything at the end of the day anyways. Most of the time you're not worried about gold, so you don't have to max it all the way over. Gold and spirit, they will come more than you need. So that's first things first. Outside of that, you want to maximize your arena. Look at this. Just for, placing. We technically got 7.5, and then this. Sadly, we didn't finish top 50, but, it is what it is. You want to make sure that you're doing as much as you can. Obviously, we have 15 minutes in this video, but look at, I have 122 profit orbs saved up. Obviously, this didn't happen overnight, but it happened from maximizing everything. As you can see, reset just happened, and that's why we got a lot. I think we got close to 10 today. So again, look at the people. This is a perfect example. Look at the people that you can easily beat and try to climb right before refresh hits. And again, try to climb. Even on my junior account, I don't have that good of a team, but I sit top 100, sometimes top 50, just because I sit up there. And people are like, well, he sits up there, I'm not going to hit him. Obviously, you can look at some of these and I just see the power difference. And it's like, all right, we could smash this. Should be a pretty easy win. My team is still going through changes, so it's like, I don't want to necessarily try to fight a ton of new people, but for the most part, just kind of seeing those weaker people can get you up there for sure. Next things next, always do your dailies. It's so simple, so simple. But again, like max literally everything out. You don't want to be using all of your resources. As you can see, I had 1,095 left over. You get 3 a day, and you really only need to use 1. Sure, the 3 fights in arena, but you only use 1 ticket. So you can save up, and whenever you're comfortable, you should push. It looks like I could push, but I don't want to waste, arena tickets. So it's like, there's no point in needing to push. I already have the frame as well, so then I can use these tickets in Trial of Champions. That's if you want the frame. Getting Overseer is a lot easier than getting Maverick, and for the most part, it's kind of the same. It's not too over the top. You get the same amount of gems, you get a little bit more hero copies, and a little bit more dust, so it's not even like you need to push it every single time. One time it's cool, but again, you can save so many arena tickets by just hanging out at the bottom of Overseer, and it's that simple. Because again, with Guild War, there's new frames. There's so many things, that it's like you don't need to push for, even if you want to. Because again, like eventually the Maverick frame won't be that impressive because, literally anyone can get it. So there's no rush on that. Don't feel like you have to dive into that. Also, I have over 2,000 heroic summons. You might be asking, why don't you spend those? First things first, you want to wait for an event. There's no point in going and using them outside of an event. Also, I like to save for big events, and this goes for heroic summons as well as profit orbs. Stuff where they offer artifacts or specific heroes that I want. That's whenever you should go for that. don't feel like you need to, spend a ton. And again, if you're early game, it's fine to spend. Just don't waste them entirely. That goes for literally, everything that I'm going to click on. Super important. Universal crystals, relics, wherever those are, super important as well. To save those. Again, it's like I could have spent them and gotten a tier up, but I'm only going to save them for things that I really need or want. At the end of the day, this is a game. But again, like a super nice artifact comes out, I am glad that I saved those up, instead of spending them to get a few extra prophet orbs or a specific non-light and dark hero. It's like, you don't necessarily need to do that because there's other ways to do that. You have your feathers, and if you're early game, you can use those on any hero. And if you have, enough, then you can buy artifacts. Next thing's next, the bag space. You're very limited on bag space. So you want to keep a ton of stuff in here in its shard form, because you can use it whenever you need. Like, I have 24 of this guy. I can probably make a 9-star food, out of this, which you shouldn't do, but that's so much, and it's like, if I ever want to bump Belrain up, I've got 24 pieces of food right here, so that's perfect, and it's like, obviously you should save for events anyways, but I like to save enough to get a 10-star in here so that eventually I can feed that, so just looking through here, I have so many random copies. And they're not just useful for that, they're also useful for the altar. If you look at the 3-stars, I have so many of them. Even the Roy copies, I have so much of him as well. I'm not using them right now because I don't need to use them. Obviously, I could use them and I could make random 9-stars, which you should also do, complete your monthly events as well. But hoarding is going to pay off so much. So just keeping these extra copies in here, it can help ridiculous amounts. Even if, you're like, the game gets boring if I do that, trust me, whenever a big event comes and you need to fodder off all of these or fuse up all of these, it's worth it. Because this is 950 stones, almost 1,000 stones just from that one 3-star, which, honestly, it helps so much whenever the heroes are rated for 5,000 or so. Quickly jumping into the next thing. Celestial Island can give amazing food. 9-stars, if you get any of these light or dark, you should do this 100% of the time. If you're early game, light and dark 6-star puppets can be useful as well, although I would go for the regular ones. And then lastly, I would go for the non-light and dark 9-stars. But you'll get most progress from this light or dark 9-star. They're phenomenal food. Resources are amazing. On top of that, you can get other things on the way, such as gems. You can get free scrolls, orbs. It's kind of rare, but it does happen. Although most of the time I get, monster materials, stuff like that. Let's see what else we're going to get. A fight. Perfect. So these, although they're beneficial to do because you progress and you get extra stuff to boost your heroes, which we'll talk about in a second. But by simply doing this, and it looks like we're going to win this one fairly simple. Which again, even if you lose, it's not the end of the world. Your ship, you just want to make sure that it remains at least at 80 points or higher. That way you can progress at max speed and you won't lose any resources as well. But again, we'll kind of walk through as we progress through this. But again, winning helps so much. If you get, spend 50 gems to progress as well. If you have them, I say spend them, because you're going to get all those resources sooner. You can upgrade your ship to go faster. You can upgrade your statues to get your heroes stronger, and then you can start another voyage. And it is very, very beneficial. So again, we just got a little bit of the way, and we got these little cogwheels for winning. Again, it didn't hurt us at all to do that. But again, most of the time, you kind of get stuff that's not as useful. Again, all this early game can be used, and it is very, very useful. But that is that. Next thing you want to do is kind of pick and choose where you want to go, and it now says it enhances attributes of heroes from Abyss, Shadow, Dark. The other statues will tell you exactly what it is as well. But you kind of want to pick one of these, one side, and max out that side. And you might be asking, well, which one do I start with? And it depends on your heroes. See which ones fit in that, and then upgrade them. There's no wrong answer, but I definitely do think speed is important, unless if you're so far behind that speed doesn't matter. Then I would go HP or attack, and then just stick with that and then max it out. I got a little bit behind just simply doing videos, and I wanted to build everything, so my speed is a little bit behind anyways, but I chose to kind of dive more into HP. And again, that's why that is that way. Speed is still upped, but I figured, this will help me more in the long run, because after I finish this, I can always go back and do speed, and it's fine, because you get it simply by checking in here and checking these cogwheels. I get 8,000, and that's just for finishing it. You will get so much more by completing random fights, finding them, beating monsters on your quest. So it is, pretty beneficial to just pick one, and then you don't have to worry about it. These will come no matter what though, so don't worry too much on that aspect. Even if you lose every fight, you choose not to do any fights, you will still get these at the end of the day. It just depends on how much you get is based on your voyage. And again, light and dark is the best. Outside of that, I would kind of focus on 6 stars if you're early game, as it would just help boost that more. But again, that is more of a personal preference on what you want to do. The last thing here, I guess, would be the bag space is very beneficial, but also monster materials can be great early game as well. You'll be getting gold, you'll be getting spirit, you'll be getting dust pretty often. So, that doesn't really matter. You might need bag space if you're not spending. You might need a little bit of monster materials if you're not spending. So again, these are an amazing way to get that extra stuff that you need. So again, maximize that. And again, by simply doing kind of everything, you'll do that either way. Last thing, real quick, before we sign off for part 1, is guild war. Guild tech is so important, and you should be spending your guild tech only here no matter what. And I like to max everything out before I start to choose the second tier. So again, you go to your mill, you collect it. You go to the guild war, you sign up, you fight, you get guild coins. You go to the flame shrine, you sign up. You will get points by simply doing those and participating, and then you can boost your hero's HP, speed, attack, block, so on and so forth. But again, I would max every single one out, and if you don't even know what I mean by the second layer, perfect. Don't even worry about it. There's more to come. But basically, once you complete this little wheel, you get a second wheel, a second layer, basically. And again, for warrior, it's the same, and then mage is different, and then ranger is different, and then assassin is different, and then priest is different. So it's very important to pick where you need first. Check your team, which we'll cover in the second part. I don't want this video to be too long, but again, the basics. So today we learned save and max one thing out, and then move on to the next. And again, it really depends on your team on where you're going to max that out. But again, I hope that helped. And, if you have any specific questions about resetting, monsters, heroes, whatever, where should I focus, how do I get better against this, let me know down below. And we could maybe make this a series once a week, once a month, where I just kind of discuss do's and don'ts of low spenders, free to play, whatever, anything that I've learned that maybe I could pass on to you guys. But anyways, guys, let me know how I did. Let me know your questions down below. And I hope you guys all have an amazing day. I hope you guys learned something. And if anyone has any questions that I missed immediate, let them know down below. But anyways, guys, I can't wait to see you all in the second part. Have a swell day, and I will catch you all in the next one. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to plant a tree. Save water, guys. Please recycle. The earth needs our help.